When we look back at the Big Bang Theory, Georgie Cooper's success story might seem like a simple tale of redemption, the rebellious older brother who eventually finds his way and builds a thriving business. But when you consider what Georgie and Mandy's first marriage and young Sheldon reveal about his past, that success becomes so much deeper and more compelling. It's not just about money or maturity. It's about a man shaped by grief, responsibility, and the long shadow of his father's death. Georgie's life hasn't been easy, and young Sheldon laid that foundation early. He was never the star of the family like Sheldon, and he didn't have his mother's approval the way Missy often did. Instead, Georgie was the one who had to grow up faster than anyone else. When George Sr. died, Georgie didn't have the luxury of breaking down or falling apart. He had to become the man of the house almost overnight. That kind of pressure, especially for someone so young, leaves a mark. And now, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage digs into exactly how much that moment defined him. In many ways, Georgie's grief became the silent fuel for his success. While Sheldon's brilliance came from his intellect, Georgie's drive came from something much more human, the need to survive, to protect, and to prove himself. After losing his father, Georgie wasn't just mourning, he was searching for purpose. And that search led him down a path that would one day make him the successful entrepreneur we meet in the Big Bang Theory. His business acumen didn't come from textbooks or lectures. It came from trial, failure, and the hard lessons of responsibility that grief forced him to learn early. Episode after episode of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage shows how he carries that grief quietly. He doesn't talk about it much, but it shows up in his actions, the way he provides for his family, the way he works hard, even the way he sometimes overcompensates by taking risks. It's not stubborn pride, it's a deep-seated fear of failing the people who depend on him. In that way, Georgie's grief becomes a part of his character, not just an emotional burden, but a driving force behind everything he does. And that's what makes his eventual success so powerful when we see him again in the Big Bang Theory. By that point, Georgie has built himself into someone stable, confident, and financially secure. To the outside world, he's just a self-made man, but fans who know his backstory understand that every bit of that success was born from loss. It's not about ambition, it's about resilience. Georgie didn't rise because everything went right. He rose because everything went wrong, and he refused to let it break him. What's even more moving is how his relationship with his father continues to shape his story long after George Sr. is gone. In young Sheldon, we see that Georgie had a complicated bond with his dad. He loved him, but he didn't always understand him. As an adult, though, that perspective changes. Through the lens of grief, Georgie starts to realize how much his father actually taught him, not just through words, but through the kind of man he was. That realization gives Georgie's story a quiet emotional weight that few characters in the Big Bang Theory carry. When he talks about his family in the Big Bang Theory, especially when he reconnects with Sheldon later in life, we see glimpses of that maturity. He's calm, measured, even wise in a way that young Georgie never was. And that transformation is what makes his success truly meaningful. It's not just about wealth or redemption, it's about growth through pain. Georgie found a way to turn tragedy into motivation, and that's something deeply human that resonates with anyone who's ever had to rebuild after loss. In Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, we also see how his grief affects his marriage. Georgie sometimes struggles to open up emotionally, and that's no accident. When you lose a parent young and are forced to become the strong one, vulnerability doesn't come easily. But it's through Mandy and his daughter that he learns to face that side of himself again, to be open, to heal, and to finally allow love to coexist with loss. This evolution makes his later success in life feel earned, not accidental. Georgie's journey, when viewed through the full scope of the young Sheldon universe, isn't just a subplot, it's a testament to endurance. Sheldon may have changed the world with his intellect, but Georgie changed his own world through grit and emotional strength. His grief could have destroyed him, but instead, it became the foundation on which he built everything. So when fans look at Georgie's life from young Sheldon to the Big Bang Theory, it's clear his achievements mean more than just personal victory. They represent survival, healing, and the long, painful process of becoming who you're meant to be after loss. His success isn't about escaping his past, it's about honoring it. Every decision, every risk, every moment of perseverance ties back to that one heartbreaking loss that defined him as a young man. In the end, Georgie Cooper's story stands as one of the most inspiring arcs in the Big Bang Theory universe. It reminds us that success isn't just measured in money or titles, it's measured in how much you overcome to get there. Georgie's grief didn't end with his father's death. It grew with him, shaped him, and ultimately made him the man his dad would have been proud of. And that's what makes his success story not just compelling, but unforgettable. For more videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.